How's it guys, Munash here, and today I decided to do a bit of a roster update because yesterday I had a mass rank up where I took up several champs to rank 2, then I also took up one more champ to rank 3. So to start things off, I took Mr. Negative up to rank 2, who I have been using quite a lot in the Cavalier difficulty. He's just really fun in the science map, so yeah, he just shreds a lot of fights, and I've been using him more than, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, Human Torch, etc. Pretty interesting champ, very unique set of utility. I just love the way he handles degen, especially if he's duped, because then he gets that sweet regen with the degen. And he also applies his own degen debuffs along with the Petrify from the special 2, which is quite potent, especially if you have max despair. Then the other big piece of utility he has is the way he handles buffs. He can pretty much remove any buff at any time just by dashing back, which is quite convenient against a lot of these annoying mystic matchups like Ebony Maw, Dormammu, Mojo. He works really well for all those champs who also happen to apply degen. But you can basically counter it in two ways, either by not having buffs or just by taking the degen and healing from it if he's duped. Otherwise, he just takes some reduced damage, which is part of his base ability. So it's just a really good counter for a lot of these annoying mystic matchups. And then you get his animations. He's got absolute top tier animations. I just love the design and the playstyle and the way everything just flows together, how you can chain heavy attacks into combos and all that. And the evade mechanic when you hold the heavy attack and allow the opponent to hit you with the basic attack is quite useful as well. It counts as a natural intercept, so it's pretty good for handling nodes like Aspect of War or even Flow Intercept or any mechanic which will require you to intercept. That counter evade just makes it pretty easy. So now, even though it doesn't really need to be awakened, I'm kind of tempted to go for more featured crystals just to try and dupe him, because the Sig is quite nice for his sustainability, especially in those degen matchups. And he doesn't need a high Sig, he just needs to be awakened, because even at Sig 1, you'll get a 524 health per second regen whenever he's suffering from degen. He also gets a nice boost to his physical resistance and energy resistance based on his dark energy and light energy respectively, along with dealing a burst of physical damage equal to 290 to 1323 based on his Sig ability whenever the defender tries to nullify, stagger or fate seal him, because he's also passively immune to all those things like Thing. But the one I care about the most is that sweet regen from the degen, and he already lowers degen potency by 40% for each unique debuff on the opponent. So he'll just be laughing against those annoying mystic matchups because his health can actually go up instead of down when he gets that degen on him. Then the next champ I took up to rank 2 was Red Hulk, who I pulled just 2 days ago. And this is not a champ that I use every day, but when I do use him I'm really glad I have him because he comes in pretty clutch for some of these annoying hazard shift type of nodes, But yeah, he's just a very simple yet effective type of champ, It's very easy to play. You just hit the opponent, you throw your special 1. Pretty basic, but he gets the job done. Solid damage as well, just gotta build up those heat charges, and works pretty well with suicides I suppose, although he does take a bit of recoil damage but not the worst. And there's just a lot of love for Red Hulk in DSVG. Like, he could actually be our mascot because I think he's Hum's favorite champ, or at least one of them. So I'm pretty happy to finally have him as a 6-star. And then the other champ I took up to rank 2 was the other Hulk, She-Hulk, but I did not level her up to, level 35 because at this point I ran out of ISO. I used all my science bricks on Red Hulk and Mr. Negative, so I just left her at level 1 for now because I don't really need her right now. I can still use my maxed 5-star in the meantime. So I'll just wait for the science ISO because I'd rather just save the gold, because right now I'm running fairly low on gold. It might still seem like a good amount, but it can go down very quickly with all these rank ups. Before I took up Mr. Negative, I had close to 13 million gold, and now after all these rank ups, I barely have 6 million. So those were the 3 champs I took up to rank 2 yesterday. Then after that, I took another champ up to rank 3, and that of course was Kingpin. So this is a rank up I've been holding on to for a few weeks now, because I just wanted to wait for July 4 and just to get all these other crystals out of the way first and see what I pull before I take him up, because ideally I would have liked to pull Shang-Chi and then awaken him and take him up to rank 3 because he's got some pretty good prestige as well. And I could still do that if I had Shang-Chi because I did have 2 tier 5 skill after July 4, but I never pulled Shang-Chi, so Kingpin was just a no-brainer at that stage because he's a pretty useful champ now. The great man once told me that Kingpin good, and after using him in Cavalier difficulty yesterday, yeah, checks out. He's pretty good, I must say. Quite fun to play as well, and that synergy with the hood just makes him such a good debuff counter. Kind of like a pseudo ghost, but instead of getting those passive furies, he gets those rage debuffs to increase his attack. But the nice thing about Kingpin is that it's passive. You don't have to, dash back in phase or anything to trigger it. So yeah, pretty stoked about this rank up because Kingpin is just an absolute beast of a skill champ right now. Definitely one of the best for daily use. So those are the champs I ranked up yesterday, but I was not done at that point, so today I ranked up a few more champs. The first one was Guillotine 2099, but like She-Hulk, I just ranked her up. I never actually leveled her up because I ran out of tech ISO. I don't need her for anything right now. I don't even use her a whole lot outside of Cavalier difficulty, but she does get used occasionally. There's always some piece of content every once in a while where she's a pretty good counter for. Like this Summer of Pain Darkhawk is a prime example, and she's been pretty good for most of the Summer of Pain weeks. Actually, I think she can solo all of them. Yeah, she can. I mean, she's got the damage, and that's the big thing. Just her damage potential makes her really viable for all these chunky health pools. But of course, she's also jam-packed with utility like immunities, power control, heal control. It's not the best Spectre though, but it's still something. Well, I guess you don't really need heal control with the damage output. And if I'm doing something like Biohazard, then I like to pair her up with Warlock and maybe bring in Ultron or Vision for that extra fury damage. I'm just not sure if I want to rank 3 her just yet, because like I said, I don't use her a whole lot, although I suppose if I rank 3 her, I might want to use her a bit more. So we'll see, because I did form the second tier 5 tech on Thursday as well, so I can still take her up and still have one reserved for Guardian or even Ghost. And that's pretty much it for the top tier of tech champs, so I can see myself taking up 2099. Speaking of which, the other rank up I've been considering is my next rank 5 5-star tech champ, because I do have a rank 5 gem for tech. And right now my two best or preferred options are Sentinel and Ultron. Still not sure who to take out between those two because I haven't really used Ultron much since mine is only rank 1. Well, now he's rank 2 as a 5-star. I just took him up just now because I had expiring tier 1 alpha. So I'll take him up to at least rank 4 probably during the next level up because I do have some variant gems I can use on him. Then I can play around with him and decide between him and Sentinel. So that's my tech update, and then I had one more champ taken to rank 2, which is the one I was probably the most excited for. Either this or Mr. Negative, but the final rank up was Diablo. A champ that has really impressed me and I've just been having a lot of fun with him. Even as a rank 1 unawakened without suicides, he's been putting in work in Cavalier difficulty. Like yesterday I used him against the Loltron boss in the second map of Cavalier EQ. And that fight was just so much fun with the resistor node and his nullification abilities, spamming lots of special 2s that are unblockable as well, which help deal with these evade, and I just had so much fun doing that fight. I was like, yeah, I'm taking him up right now. And there wasn't even a great matchup because Ultron is poison immune of course. But if he wasn't, oh my goodness, the damage from the poisons. Oh man, I actually need to do some tests with Diablo now. So that was my latest rank up, although there are still a few more champs that I'm considering taking up. One of them being Crossbones because I just really love using him, but I am a bit hesitant because I do have a maxed 5-star who's also sick 200 because I got a lot of stones, or we got a lot of stones from that one recent event quest. I might still rank 2 him unawakened because he doesn't really need the ability to shrug off debuffs in most situations, but it's not really a priority, so I'm just gonna wait a bit for that. I was also considering Mr. Fantastic because he's pretty useful as well, goes very nicely with She-Hulk, and pretty much any team that has a lot of science champs in it. But he's also a pretty useful standalone champ now with all these debuffs. Then in terms of 5-stars, I was thinking of taking up my 5-star Cap because I just can't seem to dupe my 6-star. I pulled him during last year's July 4 opening and I still haven't managed to awaken him yet. I thought I would by now, but nope. And I only got him as a 5-star a few months ago. But at least the 5-star is a much easier investment. I don't mind using a generic on him, although I do have a few science gems and I can sick 200 him quite easily. I just haven't done it yet because I just don't need him for anything in particular right now. But he's a very strong and versatile champ if you build the right team around him, so I can see myself investing in him one day, if I don't awaken my 6-star of course. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I've got a bunch of new toys to play around with, and I'm just really happy and satisfied with my roster overall right now. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.